Hello everybody, I am Joshua and welcome to this Sims 4 house building video. Now today I am building a house called Forest Seclusion, and it is in the new world Granite Falls, which came with the Sims 4 Outdoor Retreat. It's a new game pack that came out, I believe it was a week ago. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago, I don't remember. But anyway, you can see here I'm starting out with the house, and yeah, so it's in Granite Falls, which is kind of a national park, I guess. I think that's what it's supposed to be. So it's based off a national park. There's only, I think, 3 or 4. I think there's like 5. I'm sorry. I think there's 5 houses that you can, or 5 lots you can build houses on in this world. So it's relatively small. But yeah, so these are rental houses. So the house I'm building now is a rental house, technically. And it turns out being a very expensive rental house. Yeah, so it ends up being, I think, 1,800 simoleons a day. Yeah, so that's very expensive, but yeah, it's definitely a nice house, so I guess that is why. I think the way it calculates the rental per day is, I guess, it's obviously based off the value of the house, so, you know, it's an expensive house, so, yeah, I think the final house turned out being like 185,000 simoleons, so I guess that determined the 18,000 simoleon per day payment or whatever. But yeah, anyway, you can see here I'm working on the roofs, and I definitely don't keep that roof that's on the ground. That goes away. You know, I spent a lot of time with the roofs in this house. It was quite a mess. It's kind of difficult to describe what the final style of the house is. It's kind of like partially modern, but partially like wood cabin-y like. It's really weird. It's kind of like a mix of a lot of things, but I like the way it turned out. It's very interesting, that's for sure. So yeah, the final house turns out being 3 bedrooms. Well, I say it's 3 bedrooms, though technically you could turn the office into a 4th bedroom if you wanted to, so it really could be 4 bedrooms if you so wanted, or if you had, like, you know, enough Sims, or if you had too many Sims, whatever. Yeah, so it could be 4 bedrooms, and you can see there I just made that turrety area. I don't know a better way to describe it. It's not really a turret, but it's kind of like, got these boxes or whatever. You know, it's that type of thing. Yeah, anyway, you can see here I'm just continuing on the roof. It's got a little bit messy at this point. I was trying to figure out a way to incorporate like these half-gabled roofs, especially in those lower parts of it, but it did not turn out well, so I ended up just going with hipped roofs for the lower parts. Which you'll see I do in a moment because it just was looking ridiculous. There we go. Yeah, so there we go. I finally got rid of that roof that's on the ground. That made no sense, but I thought it would look cool. Anyway, you can see here, I think the roof is pretty much done now, except that front porch doesn't have a roof yet. Yeah, definitely doing that now. So you can see there, that's pretty much the final roofing, I believe. Once I add that extra bit at the end. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So that's the roof, and we're working on colors now. So the final roof is a dark brown. Well, it's kind of a mix. It's the lower parts of it are a dark brown shingle, and the angled bits are this metal thing. You can see I'm playing around with that. There you go. You can see like the upper parts that are on angles are like this metal, and they have this trim. I did not go that thick. There you go. See, I toned it down a little bit, but you have this nice brown trim along the edge of the roof, which I think looks pretty nice. You can see I'm using some of the Outdoor Retreat wallpapers here. They're wood paneling and all that kind of stuff. You can see putting in some stone as well. Like an outdoorsy style is definitely what I was going for, obviously, since we are in the woods. Yeah. So the turret part kind of has this siding on it. It's just normal siding from the base game. But I do change the color of it from green. You can see that lower part of it is green. I do change that to white, I think quite a bit later on though. You can see I'm using this gray siding, this gray vertical siding. The only part I wasn't sure about was the wood log part on the left, but I don't know, I left it because, you know, it just reminded me of just, I don't know, like an outdoor log cabin type thing. I tried carrying it around to the back, but it just kind of looked silly, so I made that all wood. The other type of wood, I mean. But yeah, so here I'm putting in the columns after I change out the porch railings. Yes, there's a lot of columns in this house, inside and outside actually. But I like the look of columns, especially on like a woodsy, not really woodsy, on like an outdoorsy type of house. I don't know, that's kind of a weird way to describe it, but you know, like a whole lot of columns. I think it looks really neat. And the pool and this really bizarre porch on the back, which you just saw for a moment, that changes. I end up just having a normal deck and a backyard. I don't do the pool thing. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, but yeah. Oh, there, you can see I'm using move objects on. Actually, this is the first house I've built with move objects in The Sims 4, so that's exciting. I left the game for so long, like, I think I didn't touch it for like a month or something, maybe even more. Yeah, you might notice that there's been quite a bit of lack of videos, especially Sims 4 videos. I think the last Sims 4 video was December, that's for sure. Yeah, early December at that, I think. So yeah, I've been busy with school a lot and just haven't had time. But you have to be in the mood to build a house, really. So I guess that plays a part in it. But you can see here, as I was talking about all of that, I'm putting all the windows in here, and you can see, yeah, just a nice amount of windows, different styles. I really like these half, I don't know what you call these. Like, they're like, well, they're windows with one shutter on them, I guess, like kind of half-shuttered windows. That doesn't really make sense, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I kind of like put them together. Also, any windows you see on the 3rd floor, don't actually look into anything, because it's just like under the roof section, except for the turret thing. That's actually a real 3rd floor walls, but everything else is just looking underneath the roof, which is just nothing, so yeah. Anyway, here, changing the colors of the windows, you can see going for different colored windows depending on where they are. So mainly they're just like a dark brown, but some windows annoyingly didn't have a dark brown color to them, which is really annoying. Like, of course, if we had creative style, I could just match everything, but we don't have that. Oh yeah, here I'm changing the back deck into a normal back deck as opposed to that pool thing, which was kind of weird. Yeah, so putting in some stairs, which is convenient. You want some stairs so you can get off the balconies, or decks rather, they're not really balconies. So yeah, just putting in railings, all that mundane stuff. Oh, it took a long time to choose a railing there. And oh yeah, here we go. I'm starting on some of the landscaping. I do some landscaping at the beginning and some at the end, mostly because I did not really feel like doing any interior furnishing. So yeah, you can see you're just putting a whole bunch of trees around it. I really like the trees that came, well, I like all the plants really that came with this this game pack. I think they look really nice, especially the ferns and pine trees. I think they're pine trees. And oh yeah, whatever that tree is, it's like a, it's like a spruce tree, I think. I don't know, my tree knowledge is not that great, but yeah, they're really nice. I like the trees that came with this pack. It's really interesting that they're doing this. I don't think they're gonna do stuff packs for The Sims 4, I guess, because they had this game pack, which is like the same price as the stuff pack, but it has more stuff, I guess, so it's an extra stuff pack. Yeah, I guess it's an interesting way of doing things. It's kind of like a mini expansion pack, I guess, but what's going to be interesting is what the first expansion pack will be. But I found interesting about this is that they launched a game pack, which is, I'm guessing, the equivalent of a stuff pack, before an expansion pack, which they've never done before. They always launch, like, the first add-on to the game is always an expansion pack, and then a stuff pack, then an expansion pack. Like, it always interchanges. I find it interesting they started with a stuff pack this time around. Yeah, I don't know, that's just different. I guess we'll see what they do in the future, though. Yeah, anyway, you can see I'm starting on the floor plan now. The staircase is now in, and I did a bunch of flowers and stuff around the house while I was talking about the game pack and whatever that meant. Anyway, so putting in the second floor plan first. So you can see there's space for 4 bedrooms, although I only made 3 of them bedrooms and I made 1 an office. Yeah, and down here, putting in some just general walls. And there's really no separate rooms downstairs except for the bathroom, obviously, but everything else is pretty much open plan, which is nice. You know, nice airy space. So the first room I did was the kitchen, and you can see there's quite a lot of columns in the kitchen, well, 4 of them, and a lot of cabinetry. There's huge amounts of cabinets, especially upper cabinets, which you'll see. So these are the lower cabinets right now, but then I start putting in these upper cabinets and more upper cabinets, and there's 2 layers of upper cabinets, because it's a really tall ceiling, so, you know, I could fit it in. So you can see there's like a full cabinet, like on the lower part, and then there's like, on the very top is like half a cabinet, or whatever you call it. I don't know, but yeah, a lot of cabinets, but you can't really reach the very top ones, because they're very high up. This is the medium height ceiling, and it's already really high. I just can't imagine what the full height ceiling is. I mean, the highest one. I don't think I've ever used it, because it just seems too tall. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm putting in I'm not really putting anything in, I'm just changing the colors of it. And I started off with this blue tile backsplash, which you can see I'm just putting in now. And yeah, I do change that to stone and wood later on, just to kind of match the outside a bit more. Here I was playing around with something. I wanted to put curtains, or blinds, or I don't know, shades on the outside here, like, I don't know what the point of it was. It would really look cool, but it didn't really work out, and I spent ages on this trying to find something that worked, but it just ended up looking silly, so I didn't keep it. I mean, it would be cool, I guess, in a different situation, but, you know. I remember trying to do something like this in The Sims 3, and it actually looked really good, but The Sims 4, it doesn't look quite as good, because we don't have those type of curtains. With The Sims 3 Master Suite stuff, they have these, like, single piece curtains, like one side, and then they had a separate one for the other side. They don't have that in The Sims 4, so it's kind of more difficult to do that. But anyway, I just settled on doing this trim at the top of the, I don't know what you call it, balconies. Not balconies, my gosh, porches. I don't know why I keep calling them balconies. Yeah. Anyway, you can see I'm putting in these wood things to make it look more like a log cabin type thing. I don't know. I do put these in and they look like that, pretty much. I thought it looked really cool. I don't know, I did it anyway, just on this part of the house, you can see. Yeah, it kind of just looks like wood bits sticking out of the house. It's kind of like a log cabin look, I guess. Yeah, so I don't know what these technically are. They're like decorative objects. They're just called mega hunks or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, so they're kind of weird, but I guess that's kind of cool. So I just put these in. It took me forever to try to get those to fit properly because they were just messing about. But yeah, so I put those in on all the corners. Took me a very long time. As you can see, they kept glitching out and just not wanting to work properly. So yeah, that took a little bit of time. So finishing those up, finally. And I think we're going to begin on the interior relatively soon. Not sure though. Yeah, what am I doing here? Oh, yeah, balconies. Not balconies. Oh my gosh, I keep calling them balconies. Decks. Yes, I'm putting in the deck, whatever you call it, the wood texture on the decks, to make them look like decks. So yeah, there we go, just finishing that off. And all the little angle bits, those are very fiddly. But yeah, I sorted all those out, and I'm just doing that now. And we should begin on the interior relatively soon. So yeah, just finishing that up. Wow, that took longer than I thought it would. Yeah, that looks quite nice. Yeah, so we're back in the kitchen here, just changing out the oven hood thing. And, what am I doing here? Oh, jeez. Spinning around all over the place, apparently, just observing the house, trying to figure out what I want to do. So, yeah, starting on the wood, as you can see, starting on the wood, putting in wood paneling and a painting there over the fireplace, which looks quite fancy, and things like that. So yeah, this is going to be the living room here where I am right now. That's the entrance, obviously, and the living room is kind of in this same space. Yeah, this space is the living room here. Putting in some more wood. I have a lot of wood accents throughout the house. I think most of the bedrooms are actually just wood. At least the 2 bedrooms besides the master are just wood. All wood walls and wood floors. I really wish you could change the ceiling colors like you could in The Sims 3, that you could change the ceiling, but you can't do that. At least I don't think you can. Which kind of is annoying, because like when you go to take screenshots, like everything's like really cozy and you have like a lot of wood everywhere, and the ceiling is just blank white, which kind of stands out, but I guess that's what you have to deal with. Yeah, so it's putting in these wooden trellis thingies over the windows in the back, and also change the colors of those windows to match better. And here, yeah, here's where I changed this turrety area or whatever to white siding as opposed to green siding, just because I think it fit better. Yeah, so putting in some plant pots outside. I actually put real plants in them, which is kind of cool. I think that looked quite nice. And just putting some more out in the back and all that kind of stuff. I really like the look of that. They're actually real plants that are meant to go in the ground, but with Move Objects now, we can just place them in those pots. Very handy. Yeah, I'm really happy they finally put Move Objects in the game. I mean, it should have been in from the beginning, but whatever, at least we have it now. Also, I think they really need constrained floor elevation so badly. But yeah, I guess we have to keep our fingers crossed for that one. Yeah, so starting on the living room area, actually, finally. Actually, I think I'll do the entrance first. Oh no, maybe not. Oh no, we're doing the living room. Yeah, so I'm putting in these nice couches. You have a flat screen television, and yeah, I was going to do a triple coffee table there, but I ended up just doing a double one, like just putting 2 coffee tables together. And putting in some plants, a bunch of plants. I like those plant things. I don't really know what they are. They're just like pots with like plants coming out of them in all different directions, like ivy growing out of it. It's really neat. I also put this giant painting on the wall, and then I scaled it down a bit because it was way too big. Yeah, so putting in a bunch of plants everywhere. This house has a lot of plants in it. That's definitely a reoccurring theme. Also, I found out that there's a cheat to unlock the career mode items. Of course, you probably already knew that, but I didn't, of course. And I had to look it up, and I figured it out. So those 2 green chairs are actually unlockable items. Now, I'm not really sure, like, if you download this house, what happens with those? Like, if you haven't unlocked them yourself. I don't know if it just replaces them, or if they actually are there still. I'm really not sure how that works. So I guess that'd be something interesting to figure out. And also, for some reason, that room next to the kitchen glitched out, which is really weird. So yeah, this is going to be the half bathroom. So it's the first bathroom I do. And I really like these sinks that came with Outdoor Retreat. They're like stone, as you can see. And I really like that mirror. I like a lot of the furniture that came with Outdoor Retreat. I'm not sure if that toilet, though, that like outhouse toilet that you saw for a split second, I don't know if that's Outdoor Retreat or not, but that was pretty neat. Whatever it was. Yeah, so just putting in a bunch of details in the bathroom. I really like the amount of clutter objects The Sims 4 has, because, I mean, The Sims 3 had a lot of those, but not in the base game. They mainly came from expansion packs and such, but The Sims 4 had a lot of those in the base game, which is nice. Yeah, so putting in some light fixtures, which is nice to have. A little side table there, in between the couches. And I like that lamp that I put on it. I never saw it before. It's kind of like a goth type thing with candles in it, but when you make it silver, it actually looks quite nice. Yeah, so putting in some curtains. I'm not really a big fan of these curtains. I'm not really a fan of any of the curtains in the game, but those were the best ones I could find, so I just put those in. Anyway, just putting in a little table there behind the couch. I don't think that stays, though. No, it doesn't. I don't end up putting anything behind the couch, do I? No. Anyway, moving on to the dining room. Moving swiftly on. You have a double dining table there, so it's just 2 dining tables put together. Because, of course, now that we have move objects, I can do that. And making them nice dark wood color. I like those tables. I'm not sure if these came from Outdoor Retreat or not again, but they're really neat. And also, I'm presuming if you don't have Outdoor Retreat and you download this house, it will simply replace the items that you don't have with items you do have. So you can still download the house even if you don't have Outdoor Retreat yet. And yeah, so I just presume it will replace the items like it did in The Sims 3. So not really a big deal. I mean, they're not really the best items, I'm sure. It probably does not place items that look really that great, but you can go through and fix it. This house actually doesn't use too much Outdoor Retreat stuff. I mean, it's scattered around like a bit, like, you know, like a nice healthy amount of it, but not like overwhelming. Like, I didn't like make everything Outdoor Retreat stuff, but there's quite a bit. So if you don't have it, though, it should work fine anyway. Anyway, those 2 chairs by this fireplace here are also unlockable items. So I'm not sure what happens with those again if you haven't unlocked them yet and you download the house, but I like a lot of the items that are locked, and it's very frustrating when they were locked and I couldn't use them. That cheat was definitely wonderful. I forget what it was. It was the most ridiculously long cheat ever. I mean, it was like BB dot ignore unlock I think it's like ignore gameplay unlocks entitlement something. Yeah, it was really a long cheat, and I still haven't memorized it. I have to keep looking it up, but I think I got that right. I'm not sure. Yeah, whatever. It's weird that like now like the cheat is like instead of like in The Sims 3 and Sims 2 it was like move objects on and move objects off, and now it's like BB dot move objects and BB dot move objects off. I don't know what the BB dot means. I don't know why that's there or what it's for. I don't know. I'm not a game designer or whatever, but that just seemed kind of peculiar. I don't know why they changed it, but yeah, I mean, I actually, when I first got like move objects on, like I type in move objects on and nothing happens. I was really confused, so I had to look it up and I figured it out. Yeah, anyway, I'm putting this little dining nook next to the kitchen here, and there's a nice little dining table and a bookshelf and a little side table. And just a nice stuff, you know, going on. I think that plant too is also unlockable. Yeah, once I had figured out that cheat to unlock stuff, I started using it all over the place. So yeah, putting in some, not chandeliers, some sconces, that's the word. And it's a nice little, it's a bunch of doors actually leading outside. That's one of them there. I think there's 3 doors. No, not 3. There's like 5 doors besides the front door that lead out to like not balconies. There I go again. To decks, and stuff like that. Also another little coat rack. I like the coat racks. Those are really neat. They didn't have coat racks in The Sims 3. And I think they had them on the store, but I never got it. But anyway, moving on to the dining room, back to the dining room rather, and now with move objects, I was able to put in these really cool shelves, which you'll see in a moment. Not quite yet, though. Oh no, those two curtains. I just noticed on the wall opposite of this one, the two curtains are not level. Ooh, that's gonna drive me nuts. And I never noticed that. Yeah, anyway, you can fix that if you're down at the house. You probably didn't notice, but, you know, I noticed little things like that. Anyway, as I was talking about the shelves, you can see here putting all these little details and trinkets on the shelves. This is actually the first time I ever used shelves in The Sims 4. I couldn't find them anywhere, so I had to search for shelves, and yeah, I just don't know where they were. You can see those curtains are not level. Oh my god, that's infuriating. The windows aren't level, are they? Oh gosh. No, the windows aren't level. Well, you know what, it's just a minor issue, isn't it? Can't believe I didn't notice that. Well, whatever. Anyway, finishing up the dining room, actually, while I was moaning about that, and changing out those windows on the fake second level thing. And yeah, putting a nice little mirror there, and finishing up the first floor in general. I think it's pretty much done at this point. Yeah, putting another little side door there. And I think that's the first floor. Oh, saving. Yeah, I knew I did that, and I was trying to find where I could edit that out. I literally spent forever trying to find that save where I could edit it out, but I couldn't find it. Whatever, I'm sure you didn't mind. It was only like a split second. I should just stop talking about it. Anyway, moving on to the second floor here. Yeah, so this is the landing, and I do make it larger, and I make the master bedroom smaller, because the master bedroom is ridiculously large. So I do make that slight correction in a moment. But yeah, very wooded, if that makes sense. I don't know, very wooden, perhaps, the better term. Wood floors, wood walls. A lot of the bedrooms are that way too. I like the first floor was meant to be more like a modern house, I guess, like kind of like a mix between modern and like a forest, like a cabin, I guess, like a modern cabin, if that makes sense. And the second floor was just more of a traditional cabin style, like it was much lower ceilings, smaller rooms, all wood, and I don't know, it was more cozy on the second floor, I guess. Yeah, anyway, this is the other bathroom, if that makes sense. The other bathroom upstairs. Very small. It would probably be most unpleasant because it's quite tiny. But yeah, that's definitely a thing. Anyway, finishing up all of that. Actually, another thing to point out is I never used any ceiling lights on the second floor. I did that on purpose because I didn't really want any ceiling lights on the second floor. I just wanted it to be, I guess, more cozy. So I just used all wall lights and lamps, obviously. I don't know, it was just something I wanted to do. Actually, I take that back, there is a ceiling light in one of the bedrooms, but it's like in the turret type thing, so it's got like a really high ceiling. Otherwise, there are no ceiling lights on the second floor. Also, this bed had like a bedspread with like, that Van Gogh's sunflowers. Van Gogh painted that, right? Yeah, the sunflower painting thing. Yeah, there's a bedspread with that on it, which was really neat. I didn't end up using it, but yeah, I made the room all yellow originally, but I changed it to beige later because it was a little bit too much. Like this, it just did not fit in with the rest of the house at all. Like it was like a modern cabin type of house, and then you have this yellow master bedroom. It looked quite bizarre, so I didn't end up doing that. So what I ended up doing is changing it to beige, and I made the bedspread red. So you'll see that in a moment. I also put a grandfather clock downstairs. I always forget the grandfather clock, even though it's really neat. I wonder why it's called a grandfather clock. It's kind of odd. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, putting in some curtains here. This is when I changed the room over to red and beige because I had those red curtains and I was like, that looks stupid with the yellow. It looks like McDonald's. So there we go. I changed it all. You can see we have the beige walls now with the red accents, which is quite classy. Yeah, very classy. Anyway, also you can see that I ended up putting like Van Gogh's what do you call it, sunflowers there, an actual physical sunflower form. They have an actual plant that looks like it, so I put that instead of the bedspread. Makes up for it. Yeah, so here's the master bathroom, which is quite large and luxurious, definitely compared to the tiny little guest bathroom. So you can see we have double sinks. Actually, the guest bathroom has double sinks too, but whatever. We have double sinks in here, tub, shower, toilet, all the other stuff. A shelf as well. Oh, that shelf is not... Oh gosh, that shelf is not fitting between the two... How did I not notice that either? The shelf doesn't fit between the two sinks. There's like a little gap on the right side. Whatever. Not important. Not important. Yeah, so just putting in some lighting in the master bathroom. A lot of stone and wood, as you can see, fits in with the cabin type, the cabin part of the house, the cabin style part, whatever. yeah, if that made sense, congratulations, you figured it out. So that's the master bathroom, and this is the guest bedroom, the main guest bedroom. So you can see it's got that high ceiling because it's in the turret type thingy, and it's got this log bed, and actually all the furniture in this room, well actually no, I take that back. All the main furniture, beside like the bed, the end tables, and the mirror, and both mirrors actually, and the dresser came from Outdoor Retreat. Everything else was not. Yeah, you can see there's the ceiling light in the very top, so that is the only ceiling. It's actually technically the 3rd floor, so I guess I could still say there is no ceiling lights on the 2nd floor. Yeah, not that it really matters, but whatever. Yeah, so that's pretty much this bedroom finished. That was very quick to do, putting in some more details, and yeah, is that really it? I think that's it. Yep, that's done. Moving on to this bedroom, which is a depressingly small bedroom. It's kind of supposed to be, I guess, like an extra bedroom in case there's extra guests or whatever. So it's got 2 air mattresses in it, like kind of next to each other. Because the double bed, the double air mattress was like way too big, and those 2 were actually more compact. So that's what I ended up doing. Yeah, just a little bit of furnishing and, you know, basic stuff in here. It's just supposed to be an extra overflow room, I guess. It probably would have made more sense to make the office and the bedroom and this the office, but whatever. You get a nice large office and the tiny little guest bedroom thing. Also, I covered up all the windows with blinds, which makes it even more depressing. Yeah, anyway, this is the office, which is a nice bonus room in the house, or it could be a 4th bedroom if you so chose. Chose? Is that correct English? If you so choose, I guess that'd be better. Yeah, anyway, there's a nice computer there on the desk with a lamp, a nice red arm lamp thing, whatever. Nice rug. I actually like that rug a lot. I wish you could change the color of it though, but you can't. So I had to leave it red and blue, but never mind. That's the office done. Yeah, that's basically it. So what are we doing here? We're putting in some extra landscaping. Yeah, it's basically going to finish off the landscaping and things like that. So putting a bunch of little plants and bushes around the place and terrain paint and all that fancy little stuff. And yeah, so once I'm done building in this video, there will be pictures, or screenshots rather. Oh, also, yeah, I'll cut myself short there. Those little stone things around the fountain, those are actually end tables, I know, but I use them to make them look like seats. So it's a little bit of cheating there, but they're not around a fountain anymore, they're on a fire pit, but yeah. They're actually end tables, so your Sims can't sit on them. They can sit on the bench, though, but not those, sorry. Anyways, I was saying, yeah, so there's going to be screenshots after this, so I hope you stay around, or, yeah, stay around to check those out. And if you want to see more videos like this, there's many more on my YouTube channel. And yeah, so if you like what you see on my channel, please consider subscribing. I would definitely appreciate it. And yeah, so basically just finishing it up here, and just adding a bunch of terrain paint, some outdoor lighting. I think that's what I always finish on, is outdoor lighting. I think that's where we're about to begin here. Yeah, here we go. So just putting in some outdoor lighting so it's nice and lit up at night. And yeah, it looks quite nice. So also there's a download link in the description. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you next time. Yeah, bye!